Welcome to Storytime. Today, our book is Twas the Night After Christmas, written and illustrated by Dana Randall. Twas the Night After Christmas is the story of a young boy who just isn't ready for the magic of Christmas to be over. He stays up late into the night, fretting over his feelings of disappointment, only to learn a very valuable lesson about what Christmas truly means. Thanks for coming to hear our story. Here's author Dana Randall.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I am Dana Randall and I'm here today to read you a very special book. This book is called Twas the Night After Christmas. So please join me here today at Storytime as we read Twas the Night After Christmas. 'Twas the night after Christmas, and all through the house it was filled with children playing, their laughter and shouts. The stockings that hung by the chimney all month, now emptied of their treasures, hung slackened and slunk. With one child immersed in his favorite new book, two others played games as the eldest arranged her clothes on hooks. Their parents, beginning to tire from all the holidays' excite, rounded up their children and prepared them for a long, restful night. Splashed in warm, bubbly baths, or showered and dressed in fuzzy new Christmas pajamas of plaid. The children, still oh so excited and not ready for sleep, clamored and cajoled Dad for leftover sweet treats to eat. With no protest from Mom, they each had their fill of cookie, cake, or pie, and with full stomachs they leaned back with a contented sigh. "Now off to bed you go," said Mom with a smile, and the children, just a tad disappointed, marched up the stairs single file. As Mom and Dad tucked and tidied each child snugly in their beds, they expected each would sleep through the night without care or worry to fill their little heads. And with a flip of the switch in this room and a pull of the string in that, Mom was certain that the only ones left awake in the house were herself, Dad, and the grumpy old cat. But as she walked by the last dimly lit room, she stopped to investigate the glow emanating from it, as she didn't want to assume. As she neared closer, she heard the faintest of chatter, but a voice softly speaking at this hour? Oh no, what could be the matter? Tiptoeing in, she looked around to her dismay. The curtains had been pulled completely back and away. There, right before her eyes, lay a most curious sight. Her little one wasn't in bed asleep at all, but awake, standing on his window bench, looking out past the moonlight. For just beyond the window, outstretched a magnificently starlit blue sky, vast and enchanting, its measure reaching infinitely high. As his wishful eyes gazed up, hoping to catch a passing glimpse of sleigh or reindeer, Mom stood by watching her littlest one and assured him not to fear. Although jolly old Santa had gone, his tasks were complete. He would return indeed next year to perform again another wondrous feat. But his sad little eyes, how they brimmed with tears, and Mom, not knowing what was the matter, filled her heart with fear. "My poor sweet little one," she said, "why are you so sad? It's the most magical special holiday of all. Your heart should be glad." Then her little one looked back up at her and said with solemn might, "I just don't want Christmas to be over. The fun and Santa and people's hearts filled with a special light." With that declaration, Mom then understood the fears, the tears, the perplexing thoughts that wouldn't allow her child to sleep good. Leaning in to whisper much needed comforting words, Mom explained the story for him just as she once had heard. She said, "Even though the day has come and gone, Christmas can live in your heart all year long. The presents and Santa, those things are all right, but it truly is about carrying forever in your heart that special loving light. For we can always help those in need, and you know the hungry, them we can feed. We can spread love and joy all the year through, and the enjoyment of blessing others will share in that too. With these acts of kindness, Christmas really never has to end. For happiness and cheer to your heart, it will surely always lend." Do you now understand, little one, the things that I say? I hope it's helped to ease the feelings that have been mounting all day. And once more her little one looked up at her, this time with tired yet discerning eyes, and said to her as clear as crystal, "Yes, Mommy, I think I realize. I shouldn't be sad that Christmas is over because we can live its joy every day. If we always keep love in our hearts for people and help them, that makes everything okay. I'm not sad anymore. I can always see Santa next year. And every day when I grow up, I'm going to keep Christmas right here." With that simple summation, Mom knew that her words had stuck, so she gently pulled up the sheets and comforter and gave them a nice tuck. With a kiss on the cheek and a ruffle of his hair, she knew he would soon be entering dreamland, and flights of sleep fairies would welcome him there. So she switched on his nightlight and turned to leave. But before Mom exited, she said, "Remember, we have one holiday left to celebrate, and that's New Year's Eve. We'll have food and music and games galore. And after all that, there'll be so much more. A whole new year will begin, and everything starts anew. Dreams, hopes, plans, and inspirations, all of which will try to stay true." "You're the best Mommy ever," a soft whisper said. And just like that, head to pillow, he lay fastly stead. Filled with love in her heart, she gave one last tuck tight, and she whispered to her little one, "Merry Christmas and good night." Thank you for joining me today here on Storytime. I am Dana Randall, and I've enjoyed having you here. So I was actually inspired to write the book from my son. At the time, he was about 5 years old, and it was right after Christmas. He was feeling a little down. I noticed that he was looking sad and kind of mopey, which was very unlike him. And I asked him, I said, "Well, what's the matter? Why do you look sad?" And he told me that he was, in fact, feeling down and a little sad because Christmas was over. And he felt like all of the excitement and all of the happiness and the joy was kind of over too soon. And so that kind of got me thinking. I'm like, gosh, I really think more kids probably feel like this. I actually have felt like that before when I was younger, and sometimes a little bit now as an adult. And it really inspired me to write this book because I wanted to share the feeling and the thought that Christmas doesn't have to be over. You can actually keep the spirit of it in your heart all year long by doing positive things and good things for people and spreading that joy. And those things do help. It helps lift your spirit. It helps lift other people's spirits. And that was overall the motivation for this book. So the book writing process is really fun. First, you have to brainstorm lots of ideas and think about what exactly you want to write. So in my case, I already knew what I wanted to write because that was my inspiration. And once you have your idea, the rest is just getting all of that information out on paper. Overall, I think it probably took me about maybe a few months in total just to get all of the rough ideas worked out. And then I had to go through the whole rewriting process. You know, as writers, we kind of do writes and rewrites upon rewrites because you want to make sure that everything's together and just the way you want and that it's fun for kids and that they're going to enjoy it. After I did the many different rewrites and made sure that I liked the rhyming pattern, then I started on the illustrations, and I do sketches and draw out what I'm thinking in my head onto paper. And then once I have the final version of those things, I start painting. That's when it really gets fun. Add all the color and do all the fun stuff. And then once you have all of that put together, you can take your finished art pieces and you send them off to a printing company. Once it's all put together, you have a perfect combination or culmination of all of the work that you did. And it turns out to be something like this, the book that we actually read today.